Well, actually, whenever you travel anywhere, there are always intersections because, whether it's India, Europe, or anywhere in the world, people eat good food. And for eating good food, there has to be good produce. And the produce changes after the farmer has done his thing. That's when the chefs and the food producers come in between. But always when I travel to Europe, it's always exciting because there's always something new happening. So for example, if now you go to Belgium, you just don't find 10, 15 varieties of chocolates, but you find like so many varieties of chocolates because the chefs are continuously working. They're finding new ways to create new recipes or new ways to enjoy that chocolate. I'm sure whatever we're learning here, we are going to take that back to the country and use them for our benefit and for the country's benefit. If I look at myself and what I'm wearing, the chef's jacket, it actually is the bridge between life, because food becomes so important for everyone. But whenever I travel, my only focus is to find out new cuisines, new thoughts, new ingredients, new ways of cooking. And I think this trip, when we reached Luxembourg, and the chef who had plated the salmon mousse, it was so delicate, so beautiful. When we were at the winery, and the whole meal was just so perfectly balanced and beautifully made, and the wines were kind of paired with it. I think that moment touches you because somebody has taken so much care and understanding, that we have guests from India and this is what they would like, and let's present the French area of Luxembourg to them, and the wines just accompany. So that just touches my heart. Well, I think Europe thought process, the way they think is definitely much more sustainable. You have a lot of pluses. When I say pluses, I mean the weather, the number of people that live here, and the consumption levels which are there. So that brings in the energy to the whole place, and the land produces better. So for example, when we talk about biodiverse farming, it is something that we are doing in India, but not at such a large scale. And when I come to this farm and I see the passion of the farmer, it really kind of moves something inside me that I need to now go and probably get those farmers here or talk to them and excite them that your food that you will grow will get respect from a chef like us, and then we are going to plate it. So I think that's the biggest learning I'm taking home. I think it wasn't a dish, it was the vegetable itself, and we were at a zucchini farm, and we plucked the fresh zucchini, and I tasted that. And as a chef, I would always question in myself that there's a dish that we do which is just sliced zucchini with salt, pepper, a little balsamic vinegar, and a little bit of olive oil, and some fresh basil maybe, and the Italians love it. But when I was cooking that dish in India, I didn't find it so exciting. I was like, why do people love it? And I got the answer today, because the zucchini itself had to be that fresh, that sweet, that less seedy, to have that dish and to make that dish complete. But now I know what to pick and why to pick, and that makes all the difference in the dishes. So I think that particular ingredient is telling 1,000-word story to me that how important is ingredients in every step of our cooking. But I think, in this trip, it has kind of become more surreal and more real to understand that, what European Union is doing when it comes to either PDO, BGI labels, or making sure that they are in touch with the farmers, or making sure that, they are controlling a variety of things with a standard that is, that cannot be changed. And that helps in the product being the way it is. So for me, as the ambassador for modern food in India, I think I'm going back with so much of knowledge and so much of understanding of the authenticity, of the sustainability angle, of the freshness of the produce. It's been a very opening up experience as a chef to understand that, I follow a recipe to the T to make a dish perfect. But before that, there is a recipe for creating a produce perfect for me to create a perfect dish. And I think that's what EU is doing, and it's exemplary of how, with 27 member states, with so many farmers, with so much produce, how you're able to bring in such strict regulations that every single time, I open a packet of Parmigiano Reggiano and it's just the same. So I'm really, really impressed by your efforts, and thank you so much for having us.